I heard your album recently, and I was really blown away with it because it's so different from what's happening in India. So I want to know, like, what was the first conversation you guys had about this album when you first started talking about it?
So basically, we were just talking, and she was telling, "I want to go to a studio and do an album. Go to a studio and do an album." And I was not saying anything. Then one day over the phone, she's like, "I'm just gonna be explicit. What the just do it now. Like, let's just go to a studio and do it." I was like, "Yes, perfect."
Sunny has been like the one to sort of lead the way when it comes to my independent music. And I always look to him for, is this the right time to do this? Or is this a good enough song? Do you think we should work on this? Should we not? So even as far as making an album is concerned, yeah, he's right. I've always wanted to go to a studio and do it like how they do in the West,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so that was always something I nagged him about, and then I think he succumbed. He said, "Okay, fine, let's do it."
Lyrically, what would you say was your inspiration? Like, what were you going through when you wrote this album? I mean, at different points of time, 4 years ago to now.
As we all are, heavily influenced by love, the emotion, whether
Yeah.
it's bringing you pain or it's making you feel like you're on the top of the world. So Love You Double is basically written right after a fight where I felt like I was at fault, and I just wanted to set things right. So I wanted to say, I'm going to love you double this time. Everything lyrically is something in all the songs that I've experienced firsthand. It's not something I've pulled out of thin air. That's something I need to learn also, because I don't know if I'll be able to write enough if I have to just write from personal experience every single time. But this entire album is just everything from my experiences. Uncool is again after a fight where I felt extremely extremely neglected, and I felt uncool that I was crying so much over not getting attention.
A boy. Yeah. To do Bollywood and then decide that I want to do a full indie album also takes a little bit of courage, because it's a completely different audience from Shalmali Khulgade, who sang all those songs and Parishan and stuff, and then here is this thing. Well, what would you say? How did that happen?
More than courage, it was just, I've always wanted this. It was always, if I have to be a musician, it would be to write my own songs and perform my own songs. That was the musician that I always dreamt of being, and I knew that I had to do that. I mean, when that first Bollywood song, Parishan, released, a lot of my college friends who heard me in an interview or saw me, they're like, this is not her. Like, who is this? We don't know this person, Because I always thought that I would be singing English music, and that's where my heart actually even belongs. I feel like myself singing and doing this independent music. But I'm really grateful that Bollywood happened, because I learned so much about how to handle myself behind a mic, and Sunny has witnessed that from the time that I started, because he was in the room when I was recording Daru Desi, Pritam's song Daru Desi, and he's heard me sing Balam Pichkari over the mic. Did you record that song? You recorded
it? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. He was the engineer recording me. So he's probably seen me actually grow up, as a singer in the industry in the last 10 years. Our friendship grew later, but he's seen that Bollywood has really shaped how you can use the microphone, and for that I'm grateful. But this time, the lockdown really gave me time to reflect on what that initial dream was to what I had to do with the music that I wanted to pursue. And it was this. It was doing my English music. When I started my career in music, when I was singing in a restaurant called Out of the Blue, that was the beginning of my musical journey. And this is the beginning of my independent musical journey. And I'm very aware of the fact that it's going to take a while to become big or to become bigger than what it is. I'm happy even today, to be honest. I am so happy with what we have with this album, and the way it's being received. But I know it's only going to get bigger from here. I welcome this, slow growth, whether it gives me the kind of monetary returns today or in the next 10 years or 50 years, I'm okay. I also feel like I can do that because Bollywood really helped me set a firm footing as far as putting in money or investing more time and effort in this. But yeah, I'm prepared for what lies ahead.
Whether it is English music, whether it is Hindi music, Hindi lyrical thing or whatever, independent music takes a lot of time, and a lot of time, time people don't have the patience to go through it. And today, if Shalmali has done it, all her years of working at Bollywood has taught her a lot of patience. Like, there are rejections. The most important part of anything is rejection. You sing a song, you come all happy home, the song releases in 6 months and your voice is not there. It's happened with everyone. So that build kind of has strengthened it up for all of us. Even I've been releasing some of my independent small little things, and I know whether in any language it takes time, but it does grow, as she said. It does. And I don't know how much of business or how much of survival we can do on it yet, but possibly there is a day nearby when we could really do it.
What can we expect from side B?
I would say less about heartbreaks.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first.
Now it's like
that's
about
the first
moving
thing.
on.
It's going to be a little more groovier and again less of heartbreak.
It's gonna be saucy. There's a lot of sauce in the.
Yeah, it's got saucy. It's good. It's good fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was lovely. In the midst of all this bad news, it's good to have a good conversation about music always. So thank you so much.
You.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.